all the holes we've made in the timeline, it was bound to split. 2 to 3 or 2 to a west, just know we'll never quit. 23 full years of questing to base for deaths, but that's a given. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2007. Welcome back to March 27th, 2007. The next training arc here is Hunter. So we're out at Black Salamanders, which are our new thing that we unlocked at level 67, and much better experience. Because each of these is 517 XP, which is pretty wild. One of the things that got buffed with the whole Hunter rework business was only 319 XP before. So, that's pretty good. Better than all the things that got nerfed that had us trapped at birds for the first umpteen levels. My goodness. Anyways, 68 Hunter. That is later Azure Skill Choppas, Ghost Implings, and Barehand Ghost Implings. We're probably going to be here for a while, because other things that are better XP kind of don't exist yet, for the most part. Well, that's okay, because the initial XP rates we're getting here are like 120,000 XP per hour. It's pretty good. Especially when we only have 600,000 XP in total. This is going to be very nice for some training. Got the loot interface, kinda sorta. The whole system with this to pick up the things and make more stuff, put more traps out, doesn't quite work, as the loot interface keeps closing itself. You think eventually they can have this as just always open? It's alright. We can always just pick up the rope and the net anyways. That's okay. Another thing of note is the Black Salamander itself. It is just as strong as the Crystal Bow. Got this magical elven bow, or a lizard. Both are now level 70 ranged weapons. Only problem is the ammunition. The Crystal Bow just has the ammunition inside itself and just works. Whereas for the Black Salamanders, we would need to make Harlander tar. And every shot you would use a Harlander tar. So not only would we need to get thousands of swamp tar, we would also need to get hundreds of Harlanders. On the plus side would be some Herbler XP, but not gonna worry about that right now. Much later, we will have some use for Black Salamanders as a weapon. But not just now. For now, it's just training. There is 69 Hunter. Neat. We get Dashing Kevits. That would allow us to get the Spottier Fur, or the Spottier Capes. Don't need that, though. Another level. Going nice and quick. 70 Hunter. Milestone. Achievement. Unlocks. Looks to be a decent amount of unlocks here. Memorized plants and herbal habitats. Box traps, Mammosaw for the common Jadinko. Witch Doctor clothing, corpse thorn traps, Degomastic hides. Box trap polar kebits. Trapper fragments, Hunter Lodge tier 2, and hasty whirligigs. Of those, things that are actually going to matter for right now would be the collection of trapper fragments. Part of the elite skilling outfit sets. We cannot turn that off, so that's going to be happening, I guess. That's whatever. Anyways. 71 Hunter. That is magical imp boxes to catch imps. And also, later, Shadow Jadinkos. Imps are interesting. Get a magical imp box, and you can capture just the regular monster imps running around. And then, once you have said imp captured in the box, you can use it to send things to your bank. Like 2 things in total. There's very few instances where that could have been useful. If you're somewhere where you can bring a whole bunch of imp boxes that are far from a bank for some reason. Obviously not too helpful for us, since we do not have a bank. So, not gonna worry about that. And there is 72 Hunter. That'll be enough for now, I think. That is Charm Sprites. That's an interesting one. Doesn't exist yet. That's okay. Don't need any black salamanders. Also don't need these small fishing nets right now. We'll be keeping the ropes though. These will actually be helpful for what we're doing next. But first, updates. And but first, leaving the wilderness. Hanging out in the cabbage field here, for reasons that will become apparent soon. Updates. On March 29th, 2007, Rule 2 was updated. Just a clarification more than anything. Basically, no scamming, and this is just, yes, in fact, luring someone into the wilderness, lying to them about what's going to happen, and then killing them for their things is a scam. Stop it. Just stop it. You would think people would not run out into a place where they could be killed for all their things, just randomly. But they do. Sigh. Anyways, on April 1st, 2007, Cabbage Month begins. It's gonna be a cabbagey Easter event. Instead of colored eggs, we're gonna get colored cabbages. Like red cabbages. There you go. A cabbage ritual quest, where you help Fred the farmer grow bigger cabbages. And your reward for finishing the quest is the Cabbage Grow a Bit Bigger laser. Use it on your own farming cabbages to make them slightly larger. They'll heal 2 instead of 1. So that's twice as much healing. There's going to be a Killer Cabbage dungeon under Melzar's Maze. Fight level 2 cabbage spawns, level 5 cabbage knights, and the final boss, level 11 Brassica Prime. Rewarding you with a whole set of cabbage armor. But beware, if you wear it next to rabbits, they will eat your armor. And since it is a food-based armor, it's going to require level 3 defense and 5 cooking. The new Cabbage Rune comes out, purchasable from the Varrock Rune Shop. There are going to be eventual plans to put it in the rune crafting skill around 2014, give or take. The new Cabbage Rune will allow you to cast a few spells that are cabbage related, like a Cabbage Speak filter, where if you type inappropriate things, instead of just stars, it'll replace it with cabbage, which is a thing that happened before, which is pretty funny. Locate Cabbage will give you an arrow pointing to the nearest cabbage. We'd have a lot of arrows here, next to all these cabbages. Bones to Cabbage, which is way superior to Bones to Bananas, obviously. And also Share Cabbage, to give all your friends some cabbage. And then on April 31st, everyone becomes a cabbage. Very eventful month. But actually, it is April Fool's, obviously. Although there will be cabbage-related things happening later. But we'll worry about that when that happens. Instead, on April 2nd, 2007, we get the actual behind the scenes, featuring the actual, less cabbage-related Easter event, a new Fremnit quest, goblin graphics, interactions between the cave goblins and dwarves, some new jewelry, and the standard list of things that happen on the website, like the art and letters and all that kind of stuff. On the website, just immediately here, we get the next bit of the quest help system. Give you some little hints on druidic ritual, frenetic trials, rat catchers, and roving elves. Oh boy. And the Easter event. Help the Easter Bunny, as per usual. The Easter Bunny wanted to get chocolate rabbits that delivered themselves. Would have been cute and slightly concerning, depending on whether they were actually alive or just magic. But everything went wrong, as per usual. Instead of chocolate rabbits, we got chocolate kebbits. And now the kebbits are doing kebbity things, like running away and being in tunnels. So you now have to go and deal with it. Head down into the rabbit lair, catch the kebbits, put them into a middle room, take some big eggs and bowl them through the middle to crush the chocolate kebbits. Take the chocolatey chunks that you get from there back to the Easter Bunny, and you will get part of the reward. The new outfit for this event, the chicken outfit. For this part, you get the chicken feet and chicken legs, looking snazzy. The second half of the event, you need to get a mold to turn the chunks back into rabbit-shaped. You get a magic egg from the Easter Bunny. Eat it next to a hole to transform yourself into a small rabbit. And then you dig up into a separate cabbage field here, where Farmer Nigel is going to try to bash you in the head with his shovel. Keep digging around till you get to the right hole that has the rabbit mold. Bring it back to the Easter Bunny, and you get the chicken wings and chicken head. Just an amazing chicken outfit, which does have additional things it does. If you got the flap emote, it actually improves it. And you actually manage to fly a little bit. Ain't that something? Like, what did I do? Just flying around, having a swell time. And if you didn't get the previous Easter emotes, or I guess there's only one at this point, you get that from doing the quest too. Emotes and soundtracks and such are unlocked every event. It's just the outfits, for the most part, that are unique, one-time situations. Well, that's fun. And then, once you're done with your Easter event, we can continue on to more updates. On April 4th, 2007, Pay by Phone is now available in Ireland. It's still more expensive than a credit card by a lot, but I guess if you have the phone, you can do it if you want. There's quite a few places that have Pay by Phone available now, so that's something. On April 10th, 2007, more of those things on the website we were talking about earlier, like the Players Gallery, a whole bunch of art. We got the Ardoin Marketplace, a set of gold-trimmed rune armor, and much more. Also a new wallpaper, this time featuring one of the Void Knights. Well, that's interesting. In the bugs department, using protection prayers should no longer have them look like you are having them activated in your prayer menu when you have no prayer points left. They should always actually look like they're off when they're off. So that's been fixed. And that brings us to the next quest. Quest scrolling. Olaf's quest. Talk to Olaf in his camp, northeast of Verleka. requiring the Fremnik trials. 40 firemaking, 50 woodcutting. Items required, a spade. It's also not true anymore, but still. We do need a spade, a tinderbox, an axe, and we've got the 6 ropes that we could have gotten during the quest, but just got it under control here at the start. The camp northeast of Relaka. Easily accomplished by going through the fairy rings. Really just continues to be a super convenient teleport option. From Edgeville to the fairy ring here. Not really gonna be getting too many better fairy ring connection options here. It's an infinite teleport in our house, so it works out. It's also not quite in the same spot because of rare exchange here, but it's nearby at least. Spirit tree, fairy ring, all sorts of stuff. Anyways, we want to go towards the Snowy Hunter area, because that is where it is. North of Relaka. Northeast here. Here is Olaf Ranson. How's it going? Who is that? Identify yourself. It's me, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. What are you doing out here? Nothing. Just carving these horribly broken pieces of driftwood in the middle of nowhere in damp clothing. Okay. Well, have a nice day. Wait, would you do me a favor? What kind of favor? Look, you see that heap of driftwood over there? Yeah, that's my ship. And all that is left of my one shot at making my ancestors proud of me. My family have always been great explorers and seafarers. I recently set off on my maiden voyage. However, a big storm, yes, a huge storm in fact, blew my ship onto the rocks, 3 times. I've been sitting here ever since, trying to think of a way to make my family proud. And if you will help me, I think I have a way. Accept the quest. Okay, I'll help you out. Thank you. I don't have much apart from my carvings, some driftwood, and the map I was following when I had my little accident. Help me out, and I'll gladly hand it over. So what is your plan? We'll have a little food left, although it's a little briny. If you could take a couple of carvings to my wife and son in the village over the hill, tell them that I sent you with them from a distant land. Then I can wait out here for a week or so before returning. Alright, hand me the carvings, I'll be on my way. Well, none of these are any good. I need some fresh wood from a decent tree. When I was swimming for my life, I saw a odd-looking wind-stepped tree to the east of here, up that cliff. Would you bring me some of that wood so I can work it? Wow, you must have pretty good eyes to be able to see a single tree from the water during a heavy storm. Yes, great eyes. They run in the family. Wow. Up the cliffs here. See a wind-stepped tree. Gotta do a chop. Find the highest tree in the Fremnik mainland. Neat. One bunch of wind-stepped logs. That might be enough. Don't need any more right now. That's okay. Back down to Olaf. He's right here. Olaf, I cut some logs from that tree. Here's the wood. Wonderful. I'll carve them up now. Olaf carves furiously. Done. That's it? Yep. This is for my wife, Ingrid. I'm sure she will love it. Tell her it's tribal or something. Sure. And this one's for my son, Wolf. Kids love planks, in my experience. Tell him I said hello. Alright, they live in Relaka, right? Yes, hurry back and don't forget the story. I'm not here, I'm someplace far away. Okay. Go to Relaka. Easy. Would be even easier once there is a big hole in the fence here we could just run through. But now we need to just go all the way around. Honestly, it might end up being faster to take the fairy ring back. To go all the way around the town like this. I guess that's fine. We need to find his wife and son here in town. There's quite a few people in Roleka. But you can tell by their last name too. Ingrid Ranson. Hey there. Excuse me, are you Ingrid? The same Ingrid that is married to Olaf Ranson? Yes, I am. Why do you ask? I'm a friend of your husband. He sent me here with a gift for you. An expensive, exotic gift from the far-flung and tropical shores of the Island of Obscurity. How wonderful. I assumed, from the way the big oaf always referred to rigging as big strings, that he couldn't navigate his way out of a soggy paper bag. So can I see the gift he sent? Certainly. Here it is. He sends his best wishes along with it. I see. It looks like a log with Olaf was here carved in it. It's tribal, very tribal. I watched the natives carve it myself. Well, since you have come such a long way, you can have this. I baked it this morning, so it's nice and fresh. Oh, thank you. Enjoy your Obscurian tribal artifact trademark. It has 1,000,001 uses. Bread. He really carved Olaf is here in it, huh? That is a bold strategy. I guess you can find Wolf. Again, there's just so many people around here. That's drawn. There's Wolf. Wolf, son of Olaf Hansen. Yes, do I know you? No, but I do know your father. He sent me a present for you from the Island of Obscurity. Oh, that was fast. He only set off recently. I was wondering how he was doing. So where is this gift? Right here, enjoy. What is it? Very valuable, have a nice time. Wait, here, take this. I was going to have it for my lunch, but I suppose you can have it in payment. Thanks, enjoy your new thing. You got a shark from that. If you didn't already have the ability to catch and fish your own sharks, that could be pretty fancy. Not every day you get a shark. And we are going to take the fairy ring back to Olaf, I think. Honestly, I think it would just be quicker at this point. Going all the way south through the entire town and back up again. We can just get right over to the snowy mountains, right where we need to be. Also another excuse to use the fairy rings, which is always a fun time. Always a fun time. Okay. Hopefully our little Island of Obscurity nonsense works out. Not like it's really any of our problem if they don't believe these lies. We're just working with what we got here. The carvings were also not convincing. That's alright. Anyways. Olaf. I did it. Are you alright? So cold. Need fire. I delivered your carvings as you asked. Your family would like to see you again. Here, let me get you to the village before you freeze to death. I won't go anywhere. I don't care if I freeze. I'd rather die than suffer the shame. Just get the fire burning. Use these. Well, at least you gave me the map like you promised. Too cold to hear whining. Yeah. Damp planks. Fire. Driftwood. Fire. I should get the fire going. Better. Got 75 fire making. There's some seaweed. That's all I want to do. Olaf, how you doing? Ah, much better. Well, I'm glad you're happy. Can I have that map now? Well, okay. But could I have a little of that food first? I've had nothing but seaweed and biscuits for the past week. Yeah, sure. Have some food, now give me the map. This is an opportunity where you could drop the shark to keep it, but we don't really care. Have some food, give me that map. Oh, it's a banquet compared to the stuff I've been living off. Look, I have a bit of a confession. I think the map may well be cursed. What? All this running around for a cursed map? Couldn't you have made this little revelation before I fed you? Look, I'm sorry, okay? Remember that I followed this map and ended up on the rocks. Maybe nothing after all. I think you should be very careful if you're looking for the treasure. Well, regardless, you've more than earned this map. It was the last my grandfather, Sven the Helmsman, ever made. supposed to show the location of one of his stashes of treasure, but I've never been able to decipher the strange runic inscriptions that point the way. I wish you luck. Well, thanks. What will you do now? I'll sit here and practice carving. If you pass this way again, I'll be glad you drop my next load of work off with my family. That or bring me some food before I starve, whichever. Alright. He didn't even take the shark. Wild. Just took the bread. Read Sven's last map. This is the incomprehensible runic inscriptions that he couldn't figure out. Look at all these jagged somethings and areas and a big X right over here. Navigation. He does not have it. Dig in the deep snow. Don't even need the spade here. You also get a spade there. That's alright. And we fall down into a dungeon. How neat. Got a boulder blocking the exit. We just push that if we wanted to. In here, we got a few things. Like some bats. And something more interestingly, brine rats. I think at this point we could technically just not worry about doing the rest of the quest. We've already unlocked the brine rats. That's something. You can find the brine rats. They are a level 47 Slayer monster. And they've got a few different traps here. Their unique and interesting bit is the brine saber. Which makes sense. Brine saber from a brine rat. That checks out. It has a special attack that only works underwater and gives you a small stat boost based on how much damage you do. So, not really something we need. Some rat meat and a few other things. Not the best Slayer monster by any means. Well, I suppose it's unlocked. Whether or not any of the Slayer enemies that we would fight, or any of the Slayer tasks we would get would give us brine rats is another question. I'm not gonna worry about that. Skeleton Fremnix, also here. With a key to this picture wall. Or I guess the picture wall is just a picture wall. Keys for later. The wall has some discs sent to it, showing a picture and some levers. Just try pulling the levers to see what happens. And it's a puzzle! Pull the levers, and it rotates different bits of the puzzle here. This side, that side, up and down, left and right. It's all quite the thing. Basically, just need to keep rotating things around, pulling the various levers until things work out. Like that. Clunk. And we go through. Simple as that. And now, a room with some more skeletons, rock crabs, and rotten barrels and pieces of rope. Take some rotten barrels here. You never know when you might need some rotten barrels. It's actually right now. On the Bridge of Doom. This is a whole thing. Run out on here. In your haste, you slip and fall off the slippery, rotten walkway. And this is the experience you would get on the early stay here. Or at least almost. Things have changed to make the Bridge of Doom slightly less doomful. For one, we're popping up here instead of being washed all the way out of the cave, then having to go back up the mountain, dig in, go through there. So that makes it a lot quicker to try again. But try again you will, as we all experienced on the day, except for the lucky few that managed to get across. There was problems with this bridge. every single step is a separate agility check to make sure that you succeed in walking forward one single step. In total, 12. So even with a higher level agility, a reasonable chance of success, stacking it 12 times means very, very unlikely to get all the way across. You're either incredibly lucky or potentially just incredibly high level agility might be enough. But so many people fell off this for such a long amount of time. Potentially even hour plus. That was getting a little excessive. So on April 11th, 2007, it was slightly changed. Instead of having a good chance of success 12 times in a row, meaning almost guaranteed failure, you now get slightly better each time you fall off. Until eventually, you will, in fact, succeed in crossing the bridge. Still, at the start, especially with lower agility levels, there's still a good chance that you would actually fall off a few times at least. And still have to run all the way back through the dungeon. And then, it was changed again in 2023, where failure puts you over here instead, and also is now 100% dependent on whether you are running or walking. So now if we walk, we'll just never fail. A far cry from the disaster that is the original bridge. Success guaranteed. Here's the gate, which we can open with the rusty key. Several locks, which seem to match the rusty key's handle. We got the cross-shaped one. Just keep crossing the bridge, succeeding every time because we're walking. Or because we have 77 agility. It goes either way. Leading us to the other side, where we've got a big wreck. Spooky looking Ryan Longboat wreck. And a chest. Treasure for me. Oh no! It's Slay Outlander Intruder, says Ulfric, while being safe spotted on a rock crab. He's dead now. We dropped nothing. We'll search again here. Quest complete. 1 quest point. 12,000 defense experience. 20,000 coins. 4 cut rubies. Access to the Brine Rat Caverns. And a parchment telling you of other shipwrecks with more treasure. Also get a shark and or bread, depending on how things went. That's a decent treasure. 20,000 coins and 4 rubies. Probably do something with these rubies. Just make some kind of jewelry and alch them, or just alch them. Probably be worth more if I got the gold going for that, so I'll probably just do that. And the parchment about the future treasure. The scroll tells you there were more ships washed up further out to sea. Better yet, they're apparently carrying the better part of the treasure. So there's more ships washed up with even more treasure somewhere out there. To be determined. It's been many, many years, and no rest of the treasure has ever been found. Perhaps sailing will get us that in the other game. But for us, we have succeeded in getting the treasure. That's just about it. This other rotten barrel. We can get another from here if we want. We don't want. Just gonna go make some ruby amulets or something. Alch those. And then it's back to more hunter. So I've got a particular level goal in mind. Although I do have a few episodes left before we get there. Got some other interesting stuff coming up. We'll get there. Next time. Goodbye.